A crossroads is a place where two or more roads intersect. Figuratively, it refers to a crucial point in life where a critical decision is made, a juncture that will determine future direction. To many, sports is life and life is sports. This is where the crossroads meet. We will dive into the good, the bad, and the sometimes ugly with your favorite athletes, coaches, and entertainers to give you a peek behind the curtain. How do they balance real life with their passion? How do they overcome obstacles? What did they learn from each challenge? Welcome to the Crossroads, the intersection of sports and life. Here's your host of the Crossroads, Sean Wally.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Crossroads. My very first guest, the initial voyage, brings us the boys basketball head coach from River Ridge High School in the North Thurston Public Schools. That is none other than Michael Crosby. Coach, thanks for your time.
Hey, I appreciate inviting me, man. Thank you.
Man, you've got a great story. You've done a lot in sports, in the military, great background. Of course, a graduate of North Thurston High School, class of 97.
Yes.
Got to shout that out.
Yes.
But, man, basketball at River Ridge, you've done an amazing job. What's been some keys to making progress at that school?
Well, it's been a long road going into year 4. I think probably one of the biggest things for us was just rebuilding and changing the culture, kind of keeping the talent at home and not going to different schools, but just putting in the time, showing kids, that if you work hard, anything's possible. So, going from 3 years prior to me taking over, they won 5 games in 3 years. My first year taking over, we did pretty good. Made it to the postseason, year 2 postseason. And then this last season, year 3, we won our district, or our division. And then we placed 3rd in the Puget Sound League behind Bellarmine and Lincoln. So there's a lot of hard work, and we got a good coaching staff. And, so.
What are the challenges of building a program that was not doing so great when you took over?
Lots of challenges, and I think we still kind of go through them a little bit. We're going through a remodeling period, something that I kind of picked up when I came on board as the head coach there. But I think, just like I said, keeping kids where they should be. I think attitudes and grades and all those types of things, and River Ridge not really being a good basketball school probably in the last 10 years or so. So, I think, a lot of the challenges were a lot of the same things that most schools deal with, I think. So, yeah.
How do you balance doing right by you, the school, your athletic director, but then you also have all the parents coming at you?
Stress. I think that's probably one of the hardest things about high school or youth sports today is the things outside of basketball. AAU basketball is a lot bigger now, I think, than it was when I played. A lot more teams. So, the mentality. And then also middle school basketball, no cuts. Kids coming into high school kind of expect not to work as hard. So I think work ethic is one of the challenges. I think when you're looking at parents and administration, just finding a gym sometimes to practice basketball because we've got cheer or tennis and then there's a lot of rules too, right? When it comes to fundraising, North Thurston Public Schools are pretty strict, and we are a district to where we don't really get a lot of funding for our sports. So lots of challenges, but I think at the end of the day, when I look back at it, we're able to be part of a journey with kids, and the impact that you have as a lifelong impact. I mean, from playing sports and thinking about coaches that we had at North Thurston and growing up. So, I think life always has obstacles and challenges, man. So just got to kind of look at them and figure out a way to overcome them and not be deterred from continuing moving forward.
There's a lot to unpack there. You said a lot. There's a lot we can pick through. You mentioned rules with not only North Thurston Public Schools, but the WIAA. Is there someone that helps you that you can ask questions of, bounce things off of, hey, what's the rule on this? Or is it all something you have to know and delve in yourself?
I think through their education that we have to do every year, a lot of the stuff, rule changes, first aid, when it comes to all kinds of different things. So there are some coaching educational requirements that we have to do on a yearly basis, but also with our athletic director, we've had some pretty good ones since I've been there. So it's but I think with my background, I like to research things anyways. So it's there online, and if I really can't find it or figure it out, I'll ask somebody in our. It's usually pretty easy. But there are some things that, some little underlying rules that may be not known for sure.
You also mentioned AAU. And how it has grown and just exponentially from years past.
Yeah.
What are the good things about programs like that,
Okay.
but also the challenges?
Good things. I think it gives kids the exposure of basketball. I think when I was coming up down here, we didn't have a whole lot of AAU teams. And one of the things that kind of showed me was the different style of basketball. Right, because you're playing kids from all over the country. Sometimes there's kids coming over now from overseas. So I think positives is being able to travel, getting to see different things, different styles of basketball, but also being able to bond with kids. And I think seeing different things is always a good thing. I love to travel. Conflicts, I think expectation. It's a pay-to-play type thing. There's some organizations that don't cut kids. And I think parents get used to the treatment and the rules when it comes to AAU, because it's a lot different when it comes to high school basketball. So I think expectations is probably one of the conflicts. And then, positives is, like I said, traveling, being able to bond with kids and see different things.
What should parents and student athletes know about maybe some differences at the expectations coming into a high school program?
First thing is that there's cuts. Second thing is that there's a lot of practice. For us, we practice like 6 days a week during the season. Sometimes 2 to 3 hours a day. Grades are a big thing, right? AAU, there's not any grades, so grades is a really big thing for us. And, just your character as well. Student athletes are generally supposed to lead by example. And I know in my program and many programs that I've been in at North Thurston and SPS, that's a big thing. So, yeah.
A lot of remodeling being done at River Ridge High School, as you know. How can the community help come together to see that the gym is packed for the rivalry games? North Thurston, Timberline, pack that gym.
I think it's getting a lot better. We're winning some games. We're putting some kids into college, and just come out and support us. We've got a social media page that we do stuff on. We've got our school website. I think our school district does a pretty good job of broadcasting our sporting events. But yeah, we put on a good show, and like I said, I think crowds are more increasing as the years continue to go by. So hopefully in year 4, every game will be packed regardless of who we play.
Your coaching style, is it a model of a little bit of this mentor, a little bit of this famous coach, or is it all a Michael Crosby born and bred?
Man, I think my style kind of just comes from the way I used to play, and then my leadership background in the military. So, and then I think a little sprinkle of just coaches that I've coached under, right? I think some of the good things and some of the bad things you always want to take away from those experiences. And but I try to genuinely be a coach that I'd want to play for, right? Pretty emotional guy, and lots of fire, but I can't play basketball anymore. So if I can run around and scream and motivate my team, that's what I try to do.
I got to get out to a game in the 26-27 season for sure, because the Michael Crosby I saw growing up through school was calm, cool, and collected. So you're saying there's another switch you can flip when you're on the court.
Definitely. Definitely. So, yeah. I've been talked to by many people about my emotions. So, but I think the older that I get, the more calmer I guess I'm getting a little bit. But yeah, no, I try to be as quiet as I can. But I think sometimes you just have a different personality when it comes to sports.
One of the things the WIA gets right and does an amazing job at is the Hardwood Classic, the 3A, 4A tournament in the Tacoma Dome. That atmosphere is amazing. I've called games there, worked different games. It's a phenomenal spot to watch high school basketball.
Yeah, no, I think that's been a tournament that ever since I was a kid is a big deal, right? Making it to the Dome, being able to play in front of not only your own school but other schools throughout the state. And, we didn't make it to the Dome this year. One game out, just due to, I think, them changing it a little bit. You play quite a bit of games before you make it to the T-Dome now. But yeah, I think we're on track to getting better than we were last year, and hopefully being able to experience that. But I go there and watch those games all the time. So,
you mentioned your military background, 20 years plus in the Army. First of all, thank you for your years of dedication and service.
Appreciate that.
What was that like to leave everything you knew, go to boot camp, and then decide to stick it out for a full career?
Man, that's a whole story in itself, man. Growing up as a military brat, my dad served 20-plus years in the military as well, and never really pushed the military on anybody in our family. But some things didn't work out for me. Coming out of high school, going to school and not being mature enough to handle the responsibility of being a student, and joined the military at an early age and did some really cool things all throughout my career. There was some tough times early on where I didn't want to be there, but my dad was always very supportive, and he was just like, "Look, man, I could tell you a million reasons of why you or how you could quit, but I think that if you stick it out, it'll be very beneficial." And I traveled all over the world, did some really, really cool things, and got to play basketball while I was in. Got to jump out of airplanes and rappel from helicopters, and do all kinds of really cool things. So I think that really made me who I am today, the good and the bad. And looking back at it, people always ask me, would I change anything? And no, I wouldn't. So very grateful for that time and that experience. And we just had Memorial Day, so very grateful to make it through all of the things that I had to go through. So very appreciative of my service, very supportive of our military, and
What are your favorite things about the military? Obviously, travel you mentioned multiple times, and I understand traveling the world is phenomenal, and that's one big benefit. But travel and what else?
I think camaraderie, teamwork. I think, I tell my players all the time that, sports kind of helped me in my military career because of, overcoming obstacles and, teamwork, working with people that you may not necessarily like, right? But you've got to accomplish the goal. The discipline that comes with it. And then just doing things that ordinary people don't get to do, right? If you want to go skydiving, you've got to go pay for it. I used to do that for the majority of my career for free, right?
And get a check.
Right? My knees and my back pay for it today, but, I just did some really cool things, made some lifelong friends that I still talk to this day. And, without the military, I wouldn't have my kids, and gave me the opportunity to go back home to Germany many times, being stationed over there. So, so many things I could tell you that lots of good times.
I think I know the answer to this, but what is your favorite spot you got to with the military?
It probably had to, of course, probably be Germany.
Right.
Had the opportunity to be stationed over there twice, being born and raised there until I was about 10, and then moving here. Always kind of been home, and I go back. I retired in 2017. I go back there every year to see my family. I was just there about a month ago, and but there's a lot of other cool places I've been to, like Thailand and South Korea, Australia. I mean, I've been a lot of cool places and done some cool things.
What would you tell maybe your student athletes or anybody in high school that's considering the military?
It's definitely not for everybody. If you want to be part of a team, if you want to do something that's challenging, if you want to do something to be able to give back to your community, not only locally but on a national and global scale, then try it out. But you always got to keep in mind that our job of the military is to fight, right? So that's just the biggest thing that I tell people.
Throughout all your experience, the military, life, school, sports, now coaching, what has been either a professional or personal crossroads you've had to get to and figure out how to navigate?
Wow, that's a big one. I would probably say, we're talking about sports right now. I would say the transition from my military life to my civilian life.
Good.
Doing something at an early age, at the age of, I graduated high school at 17. I think I went off to boot camp probably around 18 or something. Doing that for over 20 years, and then retiring. And, I did some pretty cool and important things while I was in, and just, one day it's nothing, right? No phone calls, no responsibility. Majority of my career I was in charge of soldiers at the age of 19 till I was 37, 38. I would say that transition was probably one of the toughest things. And I think for anybody, and it's something that I think I still deal with today, right? I've been retired since 2017. And it's still I still do things that I would probably do while I was in the military, right? Or I look at things a little bit differently than you probably do, right? So, Crossroads, overcoming them, patience, and just, focusing on what's important in life, man, and that's time. And who you surround yourself with, time and family, man. That's how.
You do anything for 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
and you being that thing, the military,
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden, in a blink of an eye, it's gone.
yeah.
How was that for you mentally and being able to adjust to, in your world, now a civilian?
I think mentally it was tough. There were some things that I dealt with while I was in the military towards the end of my career with some mental health things, depression, PTSD, things of that sort. But having to deal with those things along with now, what's your purpose? What is what are your goals now, right? My military goals were always to reach the next rank or to go to another school or, to achieve different things. Now as a civilian, what do I do, right? I think one of the things that helped me was I went back to school, to the Evergreen State College, got a degree in African American Studies, and then started coaching too, right? Retired in 2017, 2018, I started my first coaching gig. So that kind of gave me my self of purpose, right? Being able to lead again teams, but they looked a little different, right? And the mission was a lot different, right? So, yeah, hopefully I answered that.
And then, of course, the military, I'm sure, has people that you can talk to, but then also in your personal life,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully there's people you can reach out to, talk to about any issues that you're having in making that transition and even currently today.
Yes. I mean, military buddies, we call them battle buddies, right? So I got a lot of those guys that we talk to because we've gone through a lot of the same things. There's hotlines that you can reach out to. VA is always really good with that. But the thing that I always recommend to people when they're dealing with anything mental health wise is that everybody's not perfect, right? I think life is, it's a journey, man. It's ups and downs, and everybody's ride doesn't look the same. But a lot of people go through the same types of things. And like I tell my kids, man, communication, and you kind of talked about it, people, mental health providers in the military, outside of the military, I think there's a lot of opportunities and organizations out there to help people. And, I'm a very big advocate of it to my kids. The big thing we deal with actually in high school sports. Is that right now? So, yeah.
The biggest blessing in your life?
Wow. Man, I got a lot, man.
Hard to pick one, I'm sure.
Oh man. I think if I'm gonna say anything, man, I'd probably say my kids. Two daughters that one's engaged, graduated from University of Washington, just turned 24 years old, beautiful, smart, strong. And then, I got another kid, my youngest daughter, Sydney, 17 years old. She actually goes to River Ridge, cheerleader, works. And then, my son, Miles, 4 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Really cool kid. Yeah, just my family, man. That's probably my biggest blessing, being a soldier in the military and being away from family a lot. Very fortunate to have those people around me, brother, mom, partner. Yeah, so that's what I would say.
Awesome answer.
Thank you.
Your family will appreciate that for sure.
I hope so.
Ready for the World Cup?
Dude, I'm excited. Big. A lot of people. Well, people that know me. I'm a soccer guy first, man. Grew up in Germany, and got to catch some games while I was there. Actually, my hometown teams, Mainz 05. I got to watch them play Bayern, but World Cup, yeah, excited. Like I was telling you earlier, I was actually thinking about trying to make it to Chicago this weekend to watch the USA play Germany in a friendly, but I think I'm just going to watch it on TV.
It's the cheaper route.
It is. I mean, tickets were pretty affordable. I think that's pretty good seats for around $260. So, but yeah, I think I'll watch it on TV.
Well, if you make it up to Seattle for USA Australia, I'll be there working.
That should be a pretty fun game. I don't really watch our Australian team, so I don't really follow them. I don't know if they have anybody, but Team USA looks pretty decent.
Of course, Australia, you think rugby, Australian rules football, right?
Yeah.
So this is a different football,
Yeah.
but they're good enough to make the World Cup, which not everybody does.
Exactly. I mean, I think people that don't know soccer, World Cup is not just a freebie. Not everybody makes it. Like
Right.
you got to qualify to make it. So
Dang good thing the USA made it, considering they're hosting.
exactly. So that should be pretty exciting, right? Where we hosting? Like we got one in New York, got down in California, LA, right? SoFi. One up here in Seattle, and then Vancouver, I think, has one too,
Canada's
right?
hosting, Mexico.
Okay.
First time multiple countries are hosting.
Okay.
Should be fun.
Who you taking? If anybody.
I'm always going for Germany, if not USA, right?
Man, I like it.
Because,
I like it.
Got family over there.
Yep.
Grandma was from there.
Yep.
Still have distant relatives there. I
Yep.
made it there once with the Globetrotters.
Yep. I remember that.
Absolutely amazing.
Yep.
Amazing time,
Yep.
amazing land over there for sure.
Mhm.
The River Ridge Hawks, boys basketball head coach, heading into the 26-27 season. Expectations on your year. Long ways away still, but it'll probably be here like that.
Man, we just started our summer league this week, so we went 1-1. We got a good group of kids, really good players on and off the court. Man, I think that we should shake some things up. We were district champs, so we want to get to that point again, and be one of the top teams in our overall league. And let's go to the Dome, man. I mean, I think that's always one of our expectations and our goals is we want to win. And we didn't make it to the Dome last year, but we want to put a banner up in the gym. So that's our goal.
Something I thought about, wanted to ask you, didn't want to forget.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like? What were your thoughts, any emotions? You say you're an emotional guy.
Yeah.
The first time you were an opposing head coach at North Thurston,
Wow.
your alma mater.
Yeah, very emotional. I mean, I would coach against them when I coached high school girls too, and I would see, the men's coaching staff.
Tim Brown's still there. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I would see, Coach Reed and Coach Connor and Coach Bullock. So, love going back there. Even better when we win.
Right.
So yes, last year we swept those guys, which was awesome, and we clinched the league or our district title with the win at North Thurston last year. So, always good to be able to go back there and play basketball and just have a good time and coach against some of my buddies. So pretty awesome and grateful experience.
Who does your squad consider your biggest rival, Timberline or North Thurston?
That's a good question. I think we kind of look at them both the same. And I don't know if that's something that I kind of have started since I came there, but, I'm really big on rival games. I think that was something that was really big when we were in school. We've started playing some of the smaller schools too, right? So we've played Black Hills in the past. We played like Centralia. We've got Tumwater on our schedule this year. Haven't played Ole yet. But that's one of my things is I want to be able to play every local team, right, to show people that we, who runs the city, man. So we're trying.
Michael Crosby, the head coach of River Ridge boys basketball. Follow all things River Ridge at RR Hawks. That's RR Hawks on Instagram. Coach Crosby, thank you so much for your time, your insight, and best of luck in 26-27.
No problem, bro.
That is Michael Crosby, head coach at River Ridge High School. Man, such an amazing journey he's had in his life. Big thanks to You'll Love This, Michael. Well 80 Brewhouse and our man Chris, downtown Olympia.
Yes.
Follow them at Well 80 Brewhouse. And, of course, Arsenal Promotions, Arsenal Promo 360 for entertainment and sports management. That'll do it for our first maiden voyage here on the Crossroads. Big thanks to James here at TC Media and Michael Crosby, head coach at River Ridge High School boys basketball.